Hey man, we know the draft is 1 week away, 1 week away. And the NFL draft talk is not going to cease anytime soon. Still having fan questions coming in, and my guy CM Brooks, man, he's a owner of Tropical Sips Coffee, great coffee company at tropicalsips.net. If you want great coffee, man, he sent me a load of coffee, and I loved it, man. I keep my Keurig going. And look, if you're a coffee drinker, I'm just saying. But he sent me a question via Twitter. He says, "Meeting my friend, draft time, and just what I just said. He got a thought for me. Very deep defensive draft. The Terry stated course and drafts the best player available at certain position in his draft board, like a wide receiver, and take Texas speedster Golden, Matthew Golden, who he's talking about, Longhorn like B. John, former teammates. Well, not teammates because he was at Houston. I'm sorry, he was at Houston before Texas. But the offense need just a little bit more work when it comes to speed. Just a thought. Don't do what mock draft boards say and indicates. We just need an angry bird this year. Um, he's absolutely correct, man. They don't follow what people say because when you talk about the board and what they need, the last four times draft experts had them take someone totally different, mainly an edge rusher. But I think this is the draft they do take an edge rusher. And I'm looking at Michael Williams, Jalen Walker, Mike Green, and those guys. Those are going to be the guys at the top of my board right now. But also, you got to think offense as well. And I said this during the season while the season was going on. If they went offensive line, I would not be mad. Now, his teammate, Matthew Golden's teammate, Kevin Banks Jr., they got a private workout with him in Austin a couple of weeks ago. And 9 times out of 10, Matthew Golden was there as well. So you have guys like Isaiah Bond as well as a wide receiver. He's having off the field trouble, so he may slide in the draft because he could be a look for the Falcons. But Matthew Golden, to answer your question, CM Brooks, um, Matthew Golden would not be a bad addition. I'm looking at a guy about 5'11", 6 feet, about 190 to 195. Straight speeds to 429, 4.29, 40, which is Xavier Worthy type territory. And I would love to see a track race between those two. But Matthew Golden would bring a lot of offensive firepower. You talk about a guy who gets in and out of his routes quick, great footwork, vertical threat, runs intermediate to vertical deep routes, and that's what the Falcons need, more explosiveness in this offense. But you got to think they still have a guy named Casey Washington. They brought in a guy Jamal Agnew, and I'm going to get in that to a second. And also Matthew Golden bring the aspect as of a punt returner and kick returner. So in that aspect, Matthew Golden is a true certified playmaker. And to add him on with what the Falcons have in their offense already. And as I'm looking at the depth chart, wide receiver is pretty deep because they brought back Chris Blair, Derek Hodge, who's a special teams guy but gets playing time, Dylan Drummond, Makai Post, David Seals, Ray McLeod, who had a surprising year last year, who was mainly a special teams guy. Darnell Mooney, who played like a number one at certain points of the season, and also Drake London, and we know about him. But you add Matthew Golden to this receiving core with Drake London, Ray McLeod, Darnell Mooney, and the starters. I think you have a certified run and shoot style offense, especially with a guy with a Warren Moon type arm uh, in Michael Penix. But see him, um, I could see him going best player available, but I don't think it'll be a receiver. It would be an offensive lineman if it's not a defensive end edge rusher because the Falcons need to build in the trenches, and honestly, they would benefit by going edge or offensive line and build against the trenches because when I talk about right tackle position, I'm looking at Kevin Banks blocking Michael Penix's backside for at least 5 to 10 years, and that is going to be a plus, especially with Jake Matthews getting long in the tooth on the other side, and Caleb McGarry possibly being his last year in Atlanta. So that is the way I would look at that. And Kevin Banks also could swing in the guard if he needed to, and you can put Bergeron at tackle. So I mean, look, they have guys that can play multiple positions on that line, but wide receiver, I don't think would be um, a thought at this point in the draft process, especially with what's been going on the last couple of days. Them being at Michael Walker, Jalen, Michael Williams and Jalen Walker's pro days, bring them in for private workouts. I feel like those two guys are number one top on the list. And they are the best player available probably on our draft board. But thank you for that question, CM Brooks. I truly appreciate it. Y'all keep sending them questions, man. I love to answer them. Please be respectful when you ask questions, man. I've had some guys in my comments on YouTube being disrespectful, and you know I'm not gonna fool with it. I just read and scroll, but at the same time, I know people are gonna be people. But just keep it respectful between each other, man. I appreciate that. And again, drop those draft questions, man. We still have time. Still have time to get those questions in. But this your boy Antoine Smith for my latest draft video. Matthew Golden, will he be an option? Don't think so. But I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.